Welcome to Daily News Dose, your daily fix of politics. SPD-led states want to delay the end of tax breaks for farm diesel. The German federal government has decided to phase out the tax advantages for farm diesel by 2026, as part of its climate policy. This has sparked protests from farmers across the country, who fear losing their competitiveness and income. For states governed by the SPD, Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, Niedersachsen, Brandenburg and Saarland have introduced a motion in the Bundesrat, the upper house of parliament, to extend the deadline for the tax reform. They argue that the farmers need more time and support to transition to more climate-friendly practices and energy sources. The SPD-led states also propose that renewable energy produced and used by the agricultural sector should be exempt from taxes and levies. They claim that this would incentivize the farmers to invest in green technologies and reduce their emissions. The Bundesrat does not have a veto power over the tax reform, but it can request a mediation committee with the Bundestag, the lower house of parliament, to negotiate a compromise. The motion will be voted on this Friday. Sachsen-Anhalt to allow wind turbines in forests after court ruling. The Federal Constitutional Court ruled that the general exclusion of wind turbines on forest areas in the Thuringian State Forest Act was unconstitutional. Sachsen-Anhalt had to adapt its legal situation accordingly. The state cabinet agreed on a draft law to abolish the ban on erecting wind turbines in forest areas. Forest Minister Sven Schulze, CDU, said that this did not mean that wind turbines could be built unrestrictedly in all forest parts. The decision on where to build wind turbines would lie with the regional planning associations and the districts as the lower emission control authorities. The goal was not to clear forests and replace them with wind turbines, but to use damaged areas in individual cases. The minister said that the fears and arguments of the critics of wind power had to be taken into account. He referred to the requirement of the Wind Energy Area Requirement Act to designate 2% of the area of Germany for wind energy by 2032. However, there would be no proliferation of wind turbines, he assured. Germany to agree on EU's AI regulation plan. The EU has been working on a comprehensive law to regulate artificial intelligence, AI, for 2 years, but faced resistance from some German ministries led by the FDP party. According to government sources, the FDP has dropped its critical stance against the EU's proposal, called the AI Act, and Germany will now support it. The FDP's change of mind brings the adoption of the law closer to reality. The AI Act is the world's first extensive legal package for AI, covering aspects such as safety, liability, transparency, and human oversight. It could set a global standard for AI regulation and foster trust and innovation in the field. Ampel coalition avoids budget cuts for family ministry amid union criticism. The family ministry's budget for 2024 is €13.87 billion, with no cuts for democracy promotion, civil society projects, voluntary services, and youth welfare. The Ampel coalition of SPD, Greens, and FDP expressed relief that they could prevent the budget cuts that were initially proposed after a court ruling left a gap in the federal budget. The union of CDU and CSU accused the Ampel government of destroying trust with the public, and the family ministry of being incompetent and irresponsible in its budget planning. The Bundestag is expected to vote on the overall budget of the Ampel government for 2024 on Friday. Subscribe to the Daily News Dose channel to not miss any news update anymore.